Nowadays, people often feel sadness, despair, lethargy, laziness, apathy, and all things satanic. They are downcast, discontent, and melancholy. They disregard their families, spend vast sums on psychoanalysts, and take antidepressants. People explain this as insecurity. Our religion believes that these states derive from satanic temptation. Pain is a psychological power that God implanted in us to do us good and lead us to love, joy, and prayer. Instead, the devil succeeds in draining this power from the battery of our soul and using it for evil. He transforms it into depression and brings the soul into a state of lethargy and apathy. He torments us, takes us captive, and makes us psychologically ill. There is a secret. Turn the satanic energy into good energy. This is difficult and requires some preparation. The requisite preparation is humility. With humility, you attract the grace of God. You surrender yourself to the love of God, to worship, and to prayer. But even if you do all in the world, you achieve nothing if you haven't acquired humility. All the evil feelings, such as insecurity, despair, and disenchantment, that come to take control of the soul disappear with humility. The person who lacks humility, the egotist, doesn't want you to interfere with his desires, criticize him, or tell him what to do. He gets upset, irritated, reacts violently, and is overcome by depression. This state is cured by grace. The soul must turn to God's love, and the cure will come when we start to love God passionately. Many of our saints transformed depression into joy through their love for Christ. They took this power of the soul, which the devil wished to crush, gave it to God, and transformed it into joy and exaltation. Prayer and worship gradually transform depression and turn it into joy, because the grace of God takes effect. Here, you need to have the strength to attract the grace of God, which will help you to be united with Him. Art is required. When you give yourself to God and become one with Him, you will forget the evil spirit dragging at you from behind, and this spirit, when it is disdained, will leave. The more you devote yourself to the Spirit of God, the less you will look back to see the spirit dragging at you. When grace attracts you, you will be united with God. And when you unite yourself to God and abandon yourself to Him, everything else disappears and is forgotten, and you are saved. The great art, the great secret, to rid yourself of depression and all that is negative, is to give yourself over to the love of God. Something that can help a person who is depressed is work, interest in life, the garden, plants, flowers, trees, the countryside, a walk in the open air. All these things lift a person out of inactivity and awaken other interests. They act like medicines. To occupy oneself with the arts, with music, and so on, is very beneficial. The thing that I place at the top of the list, however, is interest in the church, in reading the Holy Scriptures, in attending services. As you study the words of God, you are cured without being aware of it. Let me tell you about a girl who came to me. She was suffering from dreadful depression. Drugs had no effect. She had given up everything, her work, her home, her interest. I told her about the love of Christ, which takes the soul captive because the grace of God fills the soul and changes it. I explained to her that the force which takes over the soul and transforms the power of the soul into depression is demonic. It throws the soul to the ground, torments it, and renders it useless. I advised her to devote herself to things like music, which she had formerly enjoyed. I emphasized, however, most of all her need to turn to Christ with love. I told her, moreover, that in our church, a cure is to be found through love for God and prayer, provided this is done with all the heart.